Hello Internet, Mo here, and today I'm doing my very first original book tag. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to do a video about children's books for a little while, but I hadn't quite decided how to go about that, and then I saw that this month the Read Kids Lit read-along is happening, which was started by Leslie over at Words of a Reader. And I really wanted to get in on that, but I have such a full reading list right now for my TBR that I don't think I'm going to be able to fit Kids Lit into my November reading. But that can't stop me from talking about kids' books. So I'm starting this tag, which I've called Books for the Childlike, because most of us here on BookTube are not actually children, but we still can and do read children's books, because children's books can be just as wonderful, and sometimes even more wonderful, than books that are written for adults. And I know that a lot of you out there appreciate them as well, and I would love to hear what your favorites are. So I would like to get right into the questions. There are 7 of them, and here we go. Question number 1. A children's book that you loved growing up. So for this one, I'm going to go with Horton Hatches the Egg by Dr. Seuss. As a child, I had a little cassette tape of collected Dr. Seuss stories on audiobook, and I used to listen to it over and over and over, and this was my favorite one, Horton the Faithful Elephant who sits on the egg for a whole year and it hatches into... anyway, I won't tell you what the end is, but it's wonderful. It's Dr. Seuss. I mean, it's just great. Question number 2. A children's book that you didn't read until you were older. So for this question, I'm going to go with Redwall by Brian Jaques, and I haven't read any more than just the first one, but I read the first one 2 years ago now, I think. Somehow I did not read any of them as a child. I think I saw 1 or 2 episodes of the TV show, but I have very vague memories, so I don't remember if it was any good. But I did get around to reading this one, and it was just wonderful children's fantasy with, all of the characters being animals, and they're in a monastery, and there's a war going on, and it was, it's just perfect. Question number 3. A children's book you think every adult should read. So for this one, I have to go with The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupery, and don't trust me on that pronunciation, I totally guessed. I've always struggled in attempting to say his name. But besides that, the book is just wonderful, and it has so much wisdom and sense in it, and it's just written beautifully, and I just think everybody needs to read this book if you haven't yet. It's one of my favorite books, and I need to read it again, actually. It's been a while. Question number 4. Your favorite author of children's books. And for this one, I'm going to go with Edith Nesbit, and she was an author in the 19th century, and she wrote short stories as well as longer novel-length ones, but I think everything she wrote was children's. And her stories are just tons of fun. They're wonderful. She's got dragons and giant mice and mini elephants and giant sloth creatures from the prehistoric age. And she's got magical birds that cause things to turn into other random things when they sing, and a princess who is cursed to be bald, and just all of this wonderful, hilarious, funny stuff. And her writing was actually one of C.S. Lewis's inspirations for Narnia as well. So if you like Narnia and you haven't read any of these older things, definitely check out Edith Nesbit's work. She's wonderful. Question number 5. A children's book you liked as a child but don't like now. So for this, I have to go with The Little Engine That Could. I no longer have the same ability to handle repetition that I did as a young child, and this one has just started to get on my nerves. Question number 6. Your favorite children's picture book. So I'm going to go with one of my favorite books when I was a child, and that is Little Babaji. I don't remember the author's name, I will put it up here, but it's absolutely beautiful. The illustrations are gorgeous. It's set in India, and it's about a little boy on his birthday who gets all of these presents and then takes them with him to go for a walk in the jungle. And while he's in the jungle, he runs into these tigers and ends up having to bargain for his life using his birthday presents. and it's just so funny and so wonderful, and the illustrations are perfect. And I really wish I had my copy with me, but it's at my parents' house. Yeah. Question number 7. Favorite children's book to movie adaptation? So I really like adaptations, guys, so I'm gonna go with 2 of them. The first being The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, the Disney one with the honey tree and those different stories. It's just so much fun. The humor is just spot on, and I love it to death. And then the second one is part of the BBC Beatrix Potter collection of little animated stories, and it's the Tailor of Gloucester, which I just love to death. It's so sweet and so pretty, and I watch it every Christmas, so coming up in a month or so, I will be watching it again. I look forward to that, and I really enjoy all of those Beatrix Potter short stories, actually, in the BBC versions, as well as reading them. So yeah, that is the last of my questions. I need to tag some people. So I'm going to tag Brock from Let's Read, Sam from Novels and Nonsense, Kaylee from Books for MKs, and Kimberly from The Adventuring Bookworm, and anybody else who would like to do this tag. If I did not tag you and you make a video, please come and leave me a link down here so that I can come and watch it and learn about your favorite children's books. And I hope that you guys have a great reading month. I will talk to you later. Bye.